Hello, good morning. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, viewers and listeners. Welcome to another episode of Bo TV, beautiful, outstanding ladies with disabilities, where we discuss about issues on disabilities and issues related with disabilities. The program is being powered by Bold Heart Initiative. And if you enjoy this program, you like this program, you learn, we ask for sponsorship. And also we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channels and also like our videos, comment on it and share it. If in case you want to write to us, go to boldheartnetwork.info information@gmail.com. To watch past episodes on our Facebook and YouTube channel, you have www.facebook.com/boldheartnetwork, YouTube www.youtube.com/@boldtv_boldheart. All of that will be shown on the screen as I'm speaking. So today we have an interesting topic, which is respect for decision making. That's just the topic. But in case you want any other informations or want to be a discussant, we have the women. Now we are men. You have Freki, you have Afyong, you have Thomason, you have Grace, you have Constance, and I, Osaki, as people you can call for any information you want to get. You want to be a discussant. So before I go deeply, I would like the ladies in the house to introduce themselves in a way of their names, location, what they do, and type of disability. So I would like to start with Grace. Grace, please tell us your name, location, type of disability, and what you do.
Okay, hello everybody, good morning. My name is Grace Oluwatosin and I'm based in Ogun State. I'm a gospel music minister and disability rights advocate. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Grace. You're welcome for today's program. Our next on the list is Afyong.
Hello everyone, good morning. It's good to be here once again. My name is Afyong. I'm based in Uyo, a medical lab scientist, and I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury.
Welcome to here, Afyong. So Freki, next is your turn.
Hi everyone, my name is Freki Andresian. I'm based in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. I am a member of Bold Heart Initiative, the ED of Faith Care Foundation, and it's good to be here. I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury.
Welcome, Freki. So let me introduce myself. I'm Osaki Teresa Georgie, reside in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, polio survivor. I'm a freelancer of different things, and I'm your chief host for today. I'm back to our topic, respect for decision making. You know, decision making is something that's not easy. People just make decision and you don't know from where the decision is coming from. And we want to talk about this time on women with disabilities or persons with disability, how the society or family should respect their decision and how also they could have the power to make their decision without being inferior or intimidated. I know respect is reciprocal. It's a kind of give and take thing. So it's something that one needs to really know on how to manage, how to handle it. And I have a lot of questions that I will ask the ladies to discuss on this topic on how we should handle it, especially as a lady or a woman with disability. How you have that power for people to respect your decision. So the first question will go to still on respect for disability. It's still, the concept is all about someone accepting your will, your own opinion, even when that opinion is not aligned to what a person thinks. You know, most of us have different reasons why we make decisions. So all we just need, slow down, look at the decision and see the angle the person is coming from, or even though you want to ask questions or you want to make an adjustment, but in a very polite way. Not in a way the person will feel pained or feel remorse or reject your information. So I'll start with Freki. Freki, as a lady with disability, what will you say when it comes to respect for disability, for decision making?
Okay, so I don't have much to add. The only thing I would say, because you've already conceptualized the topic, which is respect for decision making, and with looking at it from the angle of women with disabilities, it would be this, that there is a notion that persons with disabilities are not informed or too enlightened or are in the right mind, the right mind frame to make certain decisions. So a lot of times what we see is that people take on the issue of disability and maybe vulnerability, and without consenting or asking or discussing with the person, they tend to make decisions for that person with disability. The flip side, which is where we are, is when a person with disability makes a decision based on maybe the person's thought process, the person's goal, where the person needs to be, and it's rejected, it's not respected. Not because probably the decision is faulty, but just because the person is with disability, and we know the misconceptions that people have when it comes to persons with disabilities, second-rate citizens, or don't worry, I'll do it for you, I'll make it for you, I'll do it for you. That they see persons with disabilities as vulnerable. So we've seen that perception of persons with disabilities as vulnerable, as fragile, as don't do too much, sometimes translates into their decision-making process being taken away from them. So like you said, the power to be able to decide for yourself, a lot of times we have seen in the lives of many persons with disabilities, women with disabilities, that power is taken. And even where they make that decision is not respected, it's not taken as, valid. You're like, don't worry, maybe that decision was influenced by disability, when a lot of times it is not so. So that is my submission when it comes to the general notion or the concept of respect for decision making. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Afion, do you have anything to add up to what she just said?
I think, excuse me. I think when it comes to decision making and persons with disability, especially for women with disability, gender also plays a role. Because you know that in our society, women are considered as lower on the social, gradient. So, when it comes to decision making, the men are given the premium spot. And then maybe as an afterthought, a woman's opinion is considered. So for a woman with disability, this can be like double disadvantage for her. Because number one, she's a woman, she's considered not mentally capable of, organizing her thoughts and presenting it in a manner that is useful. And then when with the disability, that is even worse. She's considered as someone you can't even help yourself. Then what can you offer? So more often than not, persons with disability, women and males with disability, are often their opinions are overlooked. They are not. There is no inclusion when it comes to decision making, and policies and processes are carried out or implemented without their input. So that is the general, concept when it comes to decision making for women with disabilities.
All right, thank you very much for that great answer. Okay, now we're going to deeply as we'll discuss. Now that we've been able to establish the concept of decision making, I would like to ask Grace, do you have to agree with someone's decision to respect them, either yes or no? But whether you agree or not, how do you handle the situation? Because most times when you say no, it's like she doesn't like me, even when you're trying to mean something better or something that will help the person.
Please come again with the question, please.
Okay, the question is, do you have to agree with someone's decision making, especially women with disability? Do you have to agree with their decision making, yes or no? Trying to respect her decision, do you have to agree to what she's saying? If when you know too well that thing might not be good for her, so she does not feel that you don't like her or something.
I feel you should respect her decision. Either yes, if she's saying yes, respect it, and if she's saying no, accept it because it's convenient for her. I think it's just like what Frecky said. She said something. She said more like maybe when I don't need help and you want to help me, and I'm saying okay, no, don't worry, I can do this myself. Respect it. It's not because I don't want you to help me or something, but as a woman with disability, especially, I feel you should respect whatsoever response I give to your question. Thank you.
Okay, I thank you very much for that great answer. In my opinion, I'll say whichever way, people's decisions are what they want to do. But the politeness of you trying, don't change the person's opinion entirely. You could add up something that will boost that person's decision. And if even though you want to wait that this person might not be thinking right at the moment, you look it as why not or if not, but not entirely trying to change the person's mindset or decision. I think what you have to say towards that. And if you're going to respect the person's decision, do you have to agree with the person's decision making?
No, you don't have to. A person's decision is based on a whole lot of factors, where they are coming from, the circumstances they find themselves in, and so many other things that can influence what a person chooses to do. The person may have had time to think about it, and that's the best option they have been able to come up with. So whether you agree or not, that is no reason to disrespect or go against that person's decision. If you find that maybe the decision the person has made, you're able to see beyond what the circumstances, and you can see that maybe in the future, in the long term, it may bring harm to that person. Rather than try to discourage the person, you may present your own opinion to the person and tell the person, this is what I think. I can appreciate what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from, but this is my own opinion. It is not up to the person whether they accept it or not. But it's not for you to, tell someone that what they have decided is wrong, because you're not in their shoes and you don't understand where they are coming from or what is influencing their decision.
Okay, thank you very much, Afyon, for that question. So I'll go next to Frecky. It's quite similar, but not exactly the same question. Is how can you disagree to a woman with a disability without letting her feel hot on a decision she just made?
Okay, so with respect to disagreeing with a person, I just want to mention that just like the person has the right to make a decision, every other person has a right to their own opinion. The problem now becomes when things now becoming a first issue, because at the end of the day, people have perspectives, have ideologies, have different value systems. There's so much that informs a person's decision. There's also so much that informs your own perspective. And that is why if you disagree with somebody, the posture that you want to take on is that you do not want to coerce the person into making the decision that is different or that is similar to what you think. So if you coerce the person, because the power of decision making is in the belief in that decision. So if you coerce a person into forming an opinion or making a decision, that person may not even see through that decision because the person does not believe in it. The person might just know what is in the person's mind. So you are a person and somebody has made a decision, and you feel that the value that or the challenge that thing is going to bring to that person's life is going to be great, maybe in the near future. And you feel that you're in the position to be able to get that person out of that, that whole process that might ruin the person's life. Then you can take on the role of a counselor, not advisor, a counselor. A counselor does not tell you what to do. A counselor will help you to walk through the process so that you can see the pros and the cons of the decision you're about to make, and will now work with you to see the value or the devalue in the decision you're about to make, and will allow you to now follow through on what your decision is. So you may want to take on the role of counselor, not advisor. A lot of times, people now fall into the trap of advisor. Whether you're a special advisor to everybody, I do not know. But you do not want to take on the role of advisor, because an advisor will just tell you what it is, and a lot of times, if the thing backfires, person will come and tell you, it's you that told me to do this thing. So you should do this thing. Trust me, you don't want that in your life. So always see, especially if a person is a friend, and understand that if somebody's opinion is not in line with what you feel, if you don't have influence in that person's life, you may not be able to counsel or even advise or do anything. So you may want to give a listening ear and be like, oh, think about it well, before you decide. There are different ways to get it done. Now, if you feel really passionate about something and you know that there is fire at the end of this decision, there's a pit, and that person is your friend, trust me, you can insist in a friendly way and tell the person, babe, this thing is not going to. Like, for example, now, maybe Afion is making a decision and you say I should respect, and I know that the thing will land inside something. I will tell you, that thing, when the thing, I will be here. You understand? So relationship matters. That I see you going inside fire, then I'll now say I'm respecting, I'm sorry, but I will tell you Alpha immediately. And that comes from relationship. I will not do that with a stranger that will slap me. But my friend, no, I will tell you Alpha. So just wanted to put that in perspective, so that we are not walking around eggshells, especially when our friends are entering inside bush, entering inside kidnapper, inside. No, I will not be a good friend. I will love you with a rod. Thank you. You know me. I will love you with a big rod. Staff a rod. It will not be far.
Thank you very much, Frankie. I hope somebody out there is listening and getting all these great answers from decision making, because the year is just starting and we're still doing Happy New Year. So let's try and make the right one so that we can end up well by December and we'll all be happy. So now I would like the house, and that question I would like to ask the whole house, but I'll start with myself, and it goes like, it says, what's that decision you've made that even family and friends were like, oh, what do you mean? And you're like, no, I will do this thing. And somehow, everybody accepts it. And it comes out right. It didn't come out that bad as they were thinking. Like, I'll start with when I was trying to get into the university. University system is not friendly, especially where I schooled. I schooled in River State University of Science and Technology. Then, unlike Natica, is a little bit better. But then, those days, no. It was not fun at all. And people were like, can you attend? Can you go? What are you doing in the university? Are you sure you're going to cope? And I said, don't bother. I will do it myself. I will cope. Watch me and see, So eventually, year 1 passed, year 2 passed, year 3, final year, like, really, this game in business. So. And I went and I got graduated and I still have that degree. So it's strong decisions like that are what, as in, you could take without support so much from family and friends. Once you know that this will take you right, please go ahead. Help will come from wherever. So after next to you, what was that thing that you made that was so strong that people like, no. But you insisted and it follows suit?
Plenty. My family knows me that when I make up my mind about something, especially when they bring some funny ideas, it started with, at the beginning of the disability journey, those funny suggestions about let's go here, let's do this one. That was the first one. I said no. I said, look, I am not going to do this thing. Let me just be where I am like this. Leave me. I am not doing this. I don't feel comfortable with it. But the major one that I know everybody was really skeptical about was when I decided to relocate to another city. I grew up in Calabar, and when I now got a job, I relocated to Uyo, and by then I already had this disability, and everybody was like, my mother was like, how will you cope? What will you do? Who will take care of you? I said, let me get there first. When I get there, we will know how far. We will find our way anyhow. And everybody was like, hey, I packed my bag, carried my things, and found my level. And up to today, I'm sure today, in fact, she doesn't even remember the panic she was panicking, because I had made up my mind. And, I ended up proving it wasn't easy. It wasn't because I thought it. I wasn't being flippant. I wasn't being carefree or careless. I knew that if I didn't make that move, where I was not pleasant. No. I needed to make that move. I needed to prove that somebody put their faith in me. I needed to prove that I was worthy of that trust. So I made that move. And well, today, like they say, it is story is history.
Bravo, that was a good one. Thank you very much. Frankie, please, on to you. What was that decision you made in your disability journey that was difficult to accept?
Off the top of my head, actually none.
Really? That's interesting.
I've always been independent, so I think the people around me trust me to know what I'm doing. So they have never really stopped me from firing. It's usually the people that would want to stop me are strangers. In fact, interestingly, the people that will not like my decision most of the times are people that I'm in relationship with that don't have vision. So, which has been the relationship breaker, because a lot of times they want to cage you. Where are you going to? Is it only you? Must it be you? And I'm like, you came and you saw me all over the place. Why is it that now that I'm with you now, you don't want me to now be free and fulfill purpose? So a lot of times, people that do not know me per se, that don't know maybe the strength I have, so they do it based on the information they have, and I don't blame them. When they find out maybe that it's not that deep, that we are not fragile, at least me, I'm not a fragile person, they tend to relax. But like my support system, they've not really bothered me too much about decisions. Like Afyong said, that initial time, suggesting all sorts of remedies to get cured, I was like, no, thank you. I will not rub goat piece on my body, or a goat piece from a broken back of somebody mixed with anointing, all those things. So like they respected it. They didn't have a problem with that. It was a suggestion, like, let us just tell her so that it will not be as if we did not tell her, that kind of thing. So just to reiterate, a lot of times people who have issues with the decision I make around disability or me being active, it's people that do not know that I have the capacity a lot of times. So that's it. And I don't bother, because I give you the space to try to figure out who I am. If you're not willing to, if your mind is still disability shrouded, instead of knowing Frankie, you are knowing the lady on wheelchair, then you can't go far. So I will just, after some time, it's you that will just, vamoose, or I vamoose you.
Right, bravo. Thank you. Thank you very much. While we are discussing, Constance came in. Constance, just do a brief introduction of yourself and continue with the question, which says, what was that decision that you made that was difficult in the journey of disability?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Constance Onyemechi. I'm a lady with albinism and a disability rights advocate, a young woman, and I reside in the FCT. So to the question, the decision I've made that was difficult, but later, they just had to accept it. I think that was when I got admission into the university in 2012. And then at that point, there was no money. My parents didn't have money to, pay for my fees, but then I wanted to go to school. So the advice I was given was to defer my admission till the following year, which is 2013. But then I decided to forge ahead and just start, because I felt if I have to defer till the following year, what are the chances that the money will be available that year? So I decided to take the bull by the horn. I went to school, I made inquiries, and I was told that I could start. Then at the end of the 4 years, I could pay all my fees. So I started. It wasn't easy because there was no money. So obviously I had nowhere to stay. And the state I got my admission, I wasn't from that state. But I forged ahead. At the end, I was able to, that year, that beginning part was actually the year I got one of the highest GPs I had. My grade point was 4.1. At that point, I was, going through all that. So when I was able to get that result, my parents had no other option than to, look for money to assist me in schooling. I think that was the greatest decision I made that was difficult at that time, but it finally paid off.
Bravo. That's a strong woman talking behind. I hope somebody is listening because you have to make your decision. Grace, please, on to you. Very brief because we are running out of time. We have just a few minutes more to end this program.
Okay, for me, I have lots of decisions I've made, and I think from this discussion now, I now understand the power of decision making, and that is why I now understand the reason why some feel I'm stubborn type, because when you tell me to do this and I feel, or I want to do this and I don't want to do it, and you're saying no, the response is going to be, I want to do this. So somehow it has helped me. I have enjoyed the fact that I'm able to make some decisions, and people, my family generally, they are always in support of this. So let me just say, I'm just the independent kind of person. Let me use that word, just like Frankie said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace. So because of time factor, I'll just ask one more question, and that's advice. That what can we advise to our fellow sisters, women with disabilities on decision making? How can you really encourage them to have the power of decision making? I'll start with Frankie.
So thank you very much, Osaki. So one of the things, like if you heard me when I talked about because one thing to make a decision is another thing to walk that decision, to walk the walk or walk the talk, because you can make decision and then tomorrow you have made another decision and next tomorrow you have made another one undecided. So one of the things that can help a person in decision making processes that would be respected is if you do research. If you have knowledge, if there is knowledge backing up that decision, it will be very difficult for someone who is not as knowledgeable as you are on that matter to dissuade you when you know. I don't know, there's a knowing. I don't want to quote scripture. I would have said, and we know all things. If you don't know, you don't know. So knowing helps you to stand by a decision you made and not to be swayed. Another thing that can help a lady with disability with respect to decision-making process is this. Know the people that need to know your decision. It's not everybody that needs to know what you want to do the next time, because there are too many naysayers. When a person sees a woman with disability, the first thing that comes to mind, I'm sorry, but it is whether you are anything or not. It's just a natural reaction. It's not, oh, strong woman. A strong woman is the people that know you. When the natural reaction to a person who sees from far is, even if the person is the beggar, or I don't want to sound demeaning, but you understand what I mean. The first thought process is shy. So you don't need to tell your decision to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. There are some persons that you are accountable to, that you trust their own, suggestion. Those are the kind of persons that you do sound off of. Not everybody, because if you go around telling everybody, you will go around not doing what you need to do. So know your inner circle. If one day we'll discuss that circle of influence, people that need to be in that tiny circle. It's not everybody. There are some decisions you make that is only the tiny circle that knows. And even at that, sometimes the tiny circle can be naysayers, but if you have knowledge, you can back it up. There are some times that, so, these two things would help you. Thank you very much. Let me know how the juice.
Thank you very much. Amazing. Afion, back onto you. What's the advice you can give to a lady with disability on a decision?
Always have at the back of your mind that everybody will not agree with where you're coming from, what you decide. Everybody will not agree. Sometimes we make decisions and we expect that as long as I know I want to do this thing, everybody should see it my way. People will not see it unless you show them. So when you've come to, maybe you were sitting there and then you just had an inspiration, especially this, that idea, and inside your head, you've already seen it reaching the end, and it's, your body, you're already passionate about it, and there's this zeal. What is happening is clear to you. You have the clarity, you have the vision. Somebody out there is not inside your head. They don't see what you see. You don't know what you know. So rather than get upset when somebody tells you, I don't think you should do that thing. I don't even see it working. The way some people will talk, and you start feeling like something is biting you, like you should slap somebody. Calm down. Like Frankie said, you may need to share some of what is in your head. If that person is someone you trust, whose feedback you trust, share some of what you know so that that person can see what you see. And if in the event they don't still see it, it doesn't matter. If you truly believe that that decision you have made is what you need at that moment in time, go ahead. It may not work out, but you would have learned something from it. So I want, first and foremost, know yourself, understand why you are making that decision, understand where that decision will lead. Take time to think about it so that when you finally follow through, whatever the outcome, you can own it and take responsibility for it, regardless of every other person's opinion. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Constance, please throw your own answer to that question.
Okay, so for my own point of view, when making decisions, I think first thing that comes to mind should be clarity. You should have clarity of mind and be objective in your decision making. Your decision should not come out of emotions. Rather, it should be born out of objectivity. And secondly, when you take a decision, stand firm by your decision. Do not entertain people who are pessimistic, because sometimes they have this effect of discouraging you. So clarity of mind, be objective, surround yourself with people who believe in you, who are optimistic, and lastly, pray. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Constance, for the answer. Grace, please add up your voice to that advice.
Okay, so let me say this. First of all, at the point in my life, this statement people use that a beggar has no choice was coming to me, and I started thinking about it. That is it that because I live with a disability, I don't have a right to make a choice, or I can do whatsoever I want to do? My advice is that as a person with disability, don't allow people silence your will or your decision or your voice. That you live with a disability does not take away your power of making decision. So don't allow people push you to and fro because you live with a disability. Ensure you speak out and ensure you are doing the right thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Grace. Just to add up to all what the ladies have said, in my own view, like what Constance said, pray. I'll pray first. And also, I think most decisions, even though along the line you're going through it and there's an obstacle or something, you don't have to follow the steps you started with. You can go to the drawing board and see which step you missed or what must have gone wrong that you cannot get what you want to achieve. So always try and see if you can go to the drawing board, retrace your step, and push ahead. Not you stopping it, but don't be like you stick to this way. That's how it must be. Be open to other opportunities or other kind of ways of trying to get to the end result of whatever decision you've made in life. So I'm so happy that in this house they've talked about respect for decision making, and I'll just like to wrap up with our viewers. Thank you all for watching, listening, and those online. You can drop in your comments, your questions. We'll get back to you at the end of the day to check whatever you said. And in case you want to write to us, go to boldheartnetwork.info@gmail.com to watch our past episodes on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/boldheartnetwork, YouTube, www.youtube.com/@boldtv_boldheart. All of this will be displayed on the screen, and you still know the ladies you can meet whenever you want to have a discussion or throw in more information on our program. We enjoy you and we like you for always coming on to watch and also share and watch our videos and make your comments. So I'd like ladies in the house to unmute and just say their bye-byes before we round up for today.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. See you.
Bye.
See you.
Yes.
Let's
See
meet.
you.